You ever get confused or frustrated when you're trying to learn how to manifest with all these conflicting techniques and advice and ideologies? Maybe you tried something once and it worked for you, and someone is saying that that shouldn't work and you should do it another way. Well, let's talk about it. First of all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leila, and I talk about consciousness, reality, awakening, manifestation, and all that good stuff. Today I want to cover why the law of assumption, which states that your assumptions harden into fact and create your reality, can be inconsistent. The most basic answer is because it depends on people's belief. If one person believes that they need to affirm 10,000 times, then that's what will work for them. If another person believes they never have to affirm, they just have to be in the state of having it and think and act as if, then that is what will work for them. It's kind of like why prayer works, or magic works, or a lot of different kind of rituals work for different people. But I don't think it has to do so much with a really true belief, because many times in my life I've manifested something that I didn't really believe was going to happen, and I know it's the same for many people, and I know that things can happen even when we doubt them. For example, let's say that you were raised pretty religious, but you always resisted the religion, you didn't want to believe in it, you wanted to be an atheist, but then some really bad stuff goes down and suddenly you're praying to God because that's the only thing you know how to do, even though you don't really believe in God. And then your prayer is answered. Your subconscious doesn't know whether you believe in it or not, but it has taken on this framework and it has accepted it as a valid framework because it's been repeated to it enough, even if consciously you're resisting it and you don't believe it. It's the same way how witchcraft and magic and all that, a person can say they don't believe in it, but then if they find something in their pocket that looks like someone put a curse on them and they put some cursed item in their pocket, this person, simply because they've been exposed to the concept of magic and witchcraft, might now suddenly start having bad luck and bad things happen to them, even though they don't consciously believe in magic. This is why you will find so much conflicting advice within the law of assumption. There are people who are hardcore state of being, it only depends who you're identifying as. There are people who are all about saturation. You have to saturate, you have to either imagine or affirm and live in the end. There are people who believe you need to detach and let go. And whatsoever a person has subconsciously accepted as true, even if they consciously don't believe it, will be the case for them. For example, in my case, I've noticed that most of my biggest manifestations came through when I gave up. I wouldn't like to say that I consciously believe that you need to let go and detach and give up on your manifestations for them to happen, because I know that's not true, and I've had others happen when I didn't give up. But I think within my own mind, there is this expectation that once I let go, it will come to pass. So it would be smart to consider which beliefs would be beneficial to you. If you don't want to have to work hard, perhaps you'd like to instill a belief that I don't have to work hard for my manifestation, I don't have to wait long, I don't have to affirm 10,000 times, I just have to decide it once and I know it's done. Or if you would prefer not to have to detach from your desire, and still get it every time, then try to see if you can saturate your subconscious with such ideas and suggestions until that becomes what you believe. But that can be likened to swimming against the current. An even smarter thing to do would be to look into your patterns, into your previous manifestations, see what you did that worked. Try to work with your mind, with your subconscious beliefs that are already instilled, rather than working against them. So if in the past you found that when you wrote a list or you scripted, that's when it usually succeeded, stick with that. But of course, you should continue experimenting and trying new things, because it's not to say that just because something is working in a particular way for you, that that's the most efficient way. I have some friends who are master manifestors who have really instilled the belief that it does not have to be hard, it can be very, very easy. They do not have to labor, they do not have to fight against old thoughts, they simply decide something, maybe affirm it a couple times or script it a couple times, and they have now really built that belief that that's all it takes. Try it out with manifestations that are smaller, so to say, for you currently. Ones that you don't have a lot of resistance to, so you're not still attached to this identity of, oh, this is hard for me, this is painful for me, this is impossible for me. Things that you have manifested priorly, maybe just someone giving you a certain kind of compliment, or seeing a certain type of car or animal, or something random happening in your day. And try it out with various techniques. Try out SAT, so state akin to sleep. I've made a video on this, where as you're falling asleep at night, you create a scene that implies that your wish has been fulfilled, and you loop it around a 10-second scene, and you just keep looping it and making it more vivid and applying more senses as you can, and you fall asleep to that. And try that for a few nights. Then try affirming. Try emotionless robotic affirming and see if you like that. Try affirming with feeling, as in you put a timer on your phone for 10 minutes and you sit there with 1 or 2 affirmations which you keep repeating in your mind, but you really focus on the feeling that would generate and you saturate yourself in that feeling. Try it with the list method, just writing a list of 10 things that you want to see happen in a week, for example. Try it with, honestly, the internet is full of different tricks and techniques. I'm just saying, keep trying them until you find what actually feels best and easiest for you, because that really is the secret within manifestation, is you can get whatever it is that you're imprinting into your subconscious mind, but it will often come when you're actually feeling good, when you're doing things that make you feel good, you're enjoying your days, you're focusing on your well-being. It's a lot easier for things to come through. Now again, what I just said is a belief, and it might be a limiting belief for some people because they might prefer to be depressed and angry and sad and still manifest. And if that's what you prefer, you know, do you, but it doesn't sound like the most enjoyable. And I'm speaking in my experience and my knowledge from studying manifestation for a really long time. Once you get into joy and ease and appreciation and gratitude, things flow a lot faster. So, how did I manifest my dream job while being depressed? I want to tell you this story because it goes to show that techniques really don't matter. This was a few years ago, before I really got into the law of assumption. Now, I've known about manifesting for about 11 years, but I was more into the law of attraction, very vague, very ambiguous, like not really sure how this works. And I was just starting to get into law of assumption around this time. I had a job doing social media marketing for, I'm not going to go into details, but for some company where the team and the management was very toxic. And my job entailed me sitting in a windowless office, like a metal container type of office, for 9 hours per day, just being on their social media, so just having my phone logged into their Instagram and having to like and comment and send messages. And it was not my own office, there were other people there, and my manager was in there, so it was hard for me to do anything else. Like I really had to just be on Instagram 9 hours a day, just copy pasting and sending messages. I hated this job. I need a lot of stimulation. I need a lot of new, exciting things. I have a very fast-moving brain, and this was making me miserable. I'm sure some of you have also been in that same position where you're stuck in a job just to pay your bills that you really don't like, and it's sucking the life out of you, and you have to drive on the highway to get there every day. And then when you come home at night, you're tired, you have no energy for anything, you go to sleep, and week after week it repeats, and you're like, is this really my life? At the time, the last crypto bull run was starting. And what this means is that a bull run happens within crypto every 4 years or so, and all the prices go up. Now, at the time, I didn't have much crypto knowledge, but I could sense that something was about to pop off. I could sense that prices were about to explode, and there was a huge opportunity there for me. And I ended up in this group chat that a friend of mine created just for his friends, and he was teaching us all about crypto and decentralized finance and how to invest and how to make money. But because I was in this office for 9 hours a day, it was really hard for me to give it the adequate time that it would take for me to learn everything, to feel comfortable investing. So I felt a lot of angst and restlessness because I could sense that something major was about to happen in the world of crypto. I could tell that my time would be much better spent learning about crypto and investing my energy there rather than running someone's Instagram. But there was seemingly no way out. I would come home at 6 or 7 p.m., make some dinner. I'd be way too tired to make smart decisions when it comes to crypto or spend the hours necessary studying it. So it was just this constant loop of like feeling of missing out and trying to maintain my mental health and happiness while really hating my day-to-day existence. This went on for about 2 months, and I was so miserable and so desperate that I knew my only way out was manifestation. It was like, I can't just like wait and see if something better pops up. I have to, get my hands dirty and get myself out of a situation. Also, at the time, I had a huge interest in building a career in film. It was a big passion of mine, and it still is, but I just don't want to work full-time in the industry anymore. I wanted a situation or a job that allowed me to study crypto full-time. I wanted the liberty to just research and learn and study for 8 hours a day. I had no idea. I didn't even believe that this was possible. I had no idea how this could possibly happen. I just knew that that was my desire. So because I had both of these wishes, I knew I would be happy with either a full-time job in crypto, which again, I had no experience and no knowledge, or a full-time job in film. So I decided to manifest both. My technique at the time, because I was a very young law of assumption girly, was to take Post-it notes and write what I'm grateful for and put it above my bed on the wall so that every night when I went to sleep I would look at them, and every morning when I woke up I would look at them. So I wrote on a Post-it note, I am so grateful to now have a job in either crypto or film production. I just went for both, just to see what will happen. So, let me tell you what happened. A few days later, I was invited for dinner with some old friend, and I met up with him and a big group of people, and he said that they were starting to film some kind of talk show, and they had a whole studio set up, and they needed a host, and would I want to do it? So I said, sure. They said it would be unpaid for a while, so that meant I couldn't quit my day job yet. But I started doing this, and it was quite intense, like after work, on the weekends, but actually being so busy helped me get out of that slump of feeling miserable, and I started to feel really like excited and proud of what I was doing again, like a hustler. And I did that for a few weeks, but it wasn't fully aligned. I wasn't loving it. Now, what happened a month after I started manifesting that was that a friend of mine, he has a tax firm, and we had all hung out in the meantime, and he had heard me recently mentioning crypto a few times, and he took note of that. So one night now, a month later, he invites me to meet him. He says he has something important to talk about. And he says, I see your passion for crypto. I see that you're genuinely interested in this. I need someone to do research for me and tell me what to invest in, but I don't have time because I'm running this company. I have an extra space in the office that I'm going to turn into a full crypto room with like 16 screens. And I want to build a team of researchers, and I want to hire you as the first person. So essentially, I will be paying you to sit for 8 hours a day and just study and research and tell me what you find, and I'll pay you $1,000 more than your current job is paying you. So I said yes, obviously, and I worked there for about 10 months, and it was fantastic. I got exactly what I wanted. I just studied and nerded out all day for months, and eventually that led to me being offered even more amazing opportunities all around the world. I got to go to conferences and meetups, and I'm still in the Web3 industry, so I'm so grateful for that. I wanted to give you an example for how that worked. So let's examine what I did right and wrong according to the current LOA teachings. Was I in the state? No. No, absolutely not. I was in the state of hating my job. I'm not recommending doing that. For some people, they work a job they hate, but in their mind, they're working the new job they want and they're happy, but I didn't know what this job was going to be, so I couldn't imagine it. What I did do was I specified as much as I could what I wanted, and I looked at it daily. Did I believe that it was going to happen? On the surface, maybe. I didn't expect it to happen very soon. I was open to it taking years. Deep down, probably had a lot of doubt. I don't think I had a lot of faith that it was actually going to work, but it was one of those, like, I got nothing else to lose, so I may as well try. Did I affirm all the time? Did I visualize? No. I didn't know much about the law of assumption at the time. I didn't know that there was something I could be doing right or wrong, and in truth, there is nothing you can be doing wrong. This is just one example of how things can work. I'm not saying that this is how you have to do it. I'm just showing you that you don't have to fear your doubt or fear that you're doing something incorrectly or think that there is a specific formula to follow, because it really will be different for everyone. So just keep practicing and find what you feel comfortable in. I teach you about states and how to be the person that you want to be, because ultimately that's what's healthiest for you in the long run. I'm not teaching it to you as this is the only way to manifest. If what you desire is to be in a harmonious, happy, loving, committed relationship, I want you to be the person who can get that. I want you to already feel all of those beautiful emotions and associated implications. I want you to feel loved and appreciated and worthy. Your manifestation will arrive after that. And yes, you can also manifest without feeling those things and just, repeating things endlessly or repeating a scene endlessly. I mean, I won't say that I was really in the state when my SP came back. The week before that, I was doubting, feeling very low, feeling like this isn't working, and then they came back. But who wants to be in that state? Don't you want to feel confident and know that whatever you want is possible for you and that you deserve it? So that's what I would rather teach you. I want to teach you what will help you evolve into the version of yourself that has the most love for yourself and will have the most thriving existence. Thank you for watching, guys. If you would like to talk with me more privately, you can do so in the link down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn the bell button on so you don't miss when I post next. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.